How's it going, everybody? My name's Kevin Wei, and today we're going to be going over how to get into UCLA. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks that I learned when I was applying, so now I want to see if any of this would help any high school kids. But before we get into that, if you're a fan of like UCLA basketball or UCLA football, be sure to subscribe to my channel. And if you want to see what it's like to be a UCLA football player, I have a 9-episode series that's like a day in the life of type of video. Follow them going to class, going to practice, checking out the dorms with them. So that's super cool. That's coming up actually the week after I upload this video, so stay tuned for that. UCLA actually gives you the things that they look for on their admissions website. So I'm gonna be going over the main points, but be sure to give that a thorough read. Link in the description, because there might be some little points that I might gloss over. I'm gonna break this video down into 2 parts. The first part would be the most important part into getting into UCLA, and that would be your academics. And the second part would be what you should have after you have the academics, and that includes having good essays, extracurriculars. For your academics, there are 3 main parts. The first part is your GPA. You should aim to be in the top 25%, aka the 75th percentile of the accepted people. UCLA gives you like a spreadsheet on their website of a breakdown of like the top 25%, the 25th percentile, so be sure to try to aim to be in the 75th percentile, aka the top 25%. They actually only count the 10th and 11th grade grades, so that's good if you messed up your 9th grade, if you messed up your freshman year of high school, it's whatever. And that also means if you mess up your senior year, it doesn't really matter because they don't see those grades. These numbers change every year, obviously, because we have new applicants. But as of right now, you should try to aim to have a 4.6 to 4.8 weighted GPA. I say weighted because that includes all your honors and AP classes grades. You get a +1 if you get at least a C in those classes. Now, the second thing that UCLA looks for is the quality of courses. So clearly you can take a lot of classes and get a 4.0, but they could just be like easy stuff. So they look to see how much quality you have in your schedule. Check with your high school counselor to see if the classes you're taking are indeed UC approved. And the reason I say that is because when I was in high school, they didn't count Spanish 2 honors and anatomy honors, classes like that, as UC approved honors classes. They only counted things like biology honors or Spanish 3 honors. I believe they count all the AP and IB classes as honors, but be sure to check. So as of right now, you should be hitting 25 honors classes as a California resident, or if you're out of state, you should be aiming to have 36 honors classes. And these are for your 10th to 12th grade. So they don't see your 12th grade, your senior year grades. So honestly, I would encourage you, if you can, just to like fill it all up with AP classes, fill it all with honors, because they will see that you're taking a really strong schedule. And if you can't get A's in them, as long as you have a 3.0 GPA unweighted, you won't be rescinded and you'll be okay. And when I say 25 or 36 classes, these are semester classes. So if you have a year-long class, that would count as 2 classes. Similarly, if you have 1 semester class, then that would count as 1 class. Just know that UCLA evaluates you in the context that you come from. For instance, if your school doesn't offer AP physics and you're only able to take regular physics, that's totally fine. If the data's there, UCLA will try to see how you are compared to your peers. So by the same token, if there's all these AP classes, all these honors classes available that your peers are taking, but you're not taking, UCLA will know that, and that's how you'll be evaluated. And the third part to your academics is your test scores. That would be your SAT, ACT. Again, check the website, aim to be in the 75th percentile. As of right now, your ACT should be around 32, SAT Math 770, SAT Reading and Writing 730, and your essay grade should be 20. Either the ACT or the SAT is okay. UCLA doesn't have a preference as to which test you take. So, go and take the one that you think you would do good in and try the other one. And if you're in the 75th percentile, you should be okay. Now for the second part of what UCLA looks for, this is your extracurriculars and your essay. I'm saying it's the second part because these are things that you should be getting after you take care of your academics. You shouldn't be worrying about this stuff if your academics isn't up to par yet. For your essay, which is, I think they call the personal insight question now, and your extracurriculars, you should focus on having the very specific things that UCLA says they look for on their website. I'm gonna go over 3 of the things that UCLA looks for. Go on the website and see everything that they have, but I think if you hit these 3, you'll have a pretty good chance of getting in. The first thing is having exceptional achievements. Let's say you're like a world record breaker, or if you've won a lot of math or science bowl competitions, if you won a lot of things in academic or non-academic things. You don't, like sports. Maybe you did really, really well in sports, but you might not be an athlete. That's something you should mention, because I think that's something UCLA would take into consideration. And when you're describing these things, be sure to quantify everything. Don't just say, I participated in this club. Try to be more specific. You could say something like, I organize X, raise Y dollars for this and that cause. The second thing that you should stress is sustained participation. You shouldn't join a club just like in your sophomore year and only be in it for like a couple of months and list that. You should try to join your freshman or sophomore year of high school, stay in it for a while, and show that you have leadership skills. You should try to get a board position. That would be really good to show. You should try to get a board position. That would really help to show that you have leadership skills. It's really important to show that you're likely to contribute to UCLA's campus. And the last thing that you should mention in your essay or extracurricular activities is your personal background. So if you come from a background that makes you stand out, be sure to mention it if you think that it helps your application. This includes any hardships you went through. Maybe you worked 2 jobs after school every day in high school, or you worked on the weekends. Maybe you had military service. Anything that you think would help you stand out would be great. And the last thing I have to say after any of this is just have fun with the application. Don't put too much stress into this. Have fun with it. I know it's easier said than done. And at the end of the day, whichever one you get into, it's all about what you put into your time there. It's not about the name or the brand or the prestige. That's it. Thanks so much. Be sure to check out my other UCLA videos, my basketball videos, football videos, and stay tuned for more original content.